It's strange how the smallest decisions can lead to the biggest changes in your life. Sometimes, it's not the grand moments that define us, but the quiet ones. Those seconds when something tells you to pause, to look closer, to care. It was a freezing December evening. One of those nights when the wind seems to cut right through your coat, and everything feels a little more distant, a little more hollow. I was walking home from work, headphones in, drowning in my usual playlist and my own thoughts. The streets were nearly empty, the kind of night where everyone wanted to be anywhere but outside. That's when I saw him, sitting alone on the steps of a closed bookstore. He looked like a shadow tucked into the corner of the city. Hood up, hands buried in his sleeves, a worn-out backpack beside him. He wasn't begging. He wasn't even looking up. Just sitting there, staring at the ground like it had all the answers. Normally I wouldn't stop. Like most people, I keep my head down and keep moving. But something about him, I don't know, it pulled at me. Maybe it was the stillness around him, or maybe I just recognised that look in his eyes, like the world had forgotten him. I paused, pulled out my headphones and asked, "Hey, are you all right?" He looked up slowly and I swear, I've never seen eyes so tired. Not sleepy tired, soul tired. He nodded barely. "Yeah," he said, "just waiting." There was something in the way he said it that made me stop walking. "Waiting for what?" I asked gently. He didn't answer right away, just looked out at the street like he was searching for a memory. Then he said, "For someone to notice." It hit me like a punch to the chest. So I sat down next to him on the cold stone steps, not even thinking twice. We sat there for a long time without speaking. The city moved around us, cars, footsteps, distant voices. But for a while, it felt like we were in our own little world. Eventually, he began to talk. Not much at first, just fragments. He used to be a writer, he said. Had a wife, a son, a life. But things fell apart. Not all at once. Slowly. "Sometimes," he said, "you don't fall off a cliff. You slide down 1 inch at a time. And by the time you realise you've hit the bottom, you don't even remember what it felt like to stand." I listened. That's all I did. And I think maybe that's all he needed. When it got too cold to sit any longer, I stood up. I didn't know what else to offer, so I took off my scarf and handed it to him. He resisted at first. Told me he didn't need charity. But I told him it wasn't charity. It was warmth. Just one human passing it to another. He finally accepted it. He didn't smile, but I saw something in his eyes shift. Just a little. I told him I'd see him around and walked away, thinking maybe I had done something small, something that wouldn't matter in the big picture. But I was wrong. I came back the next day, hoping to check on him. He wasn't there. Nor the day after. Or the day after that. It was like he had vanished. I asked the shopkeepers nearby if they had seen him, but no one had. It was as if he'd never existed. Days turned into weeks and I eventually stopped looking. But then, 3 weeks later, something happened that I still can't explain. I found an envelope in my mailbox. No name, no return address. Inside was a letter with just 3 words. "You saved me." And wrapped inside was my scarf, along with a personal cheque for $10,000. To this day, I don't know who he really was. Was he truly homeless? Was he a writer who'd hit rock bottom? Or was he someone testing the kindness of strangers? I'll never know. But I do know this. Sometimes the smallest gesture can change someone's entire world. That 1 hour I gave him might have been the difference between giving up and holding on. And that realisation has stayed with me ever since. We pass by so many people in our lives. Most of them we never notice. But sometimes there's someone sitting quietly, waiting, not for money, not for sympathy, but simply for someone to see them, really see them. That night taught me that you don't have to be a hero to save someone. Sometimes you just have to sit down and listen, because the stranger you ignore today might have been the one who changed your life forever.